Hey, what up, everybody? This is Steve Breaches. I'm watching Monday Night Raw tonight. I'm a little bit behind due to some scheduling conflicts, I guess you could say. But we've learned our main event for the Survivor Series. It's going to be none other than a traditional Survivor Series style match with the Authority going up against Team John Cena. This is going to be a 4-on-4 affair, as is hinted at. And at first, I was just sort of putting things together, trying to see about who John Cena is going to be going up against. And I think it's a little bit harder than it was. But there was a damn good promo out there. Basically, John Cena came down to the ring to basically tell everybody that he won the match against Randy Orton at the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view. And then he was new number one contender. And the next time he was going to face Brock Lesnar in the ring, he wasn't going to lose that match. Basically, he's just guaranteeing his shot that he's already going to win. From there on, he was met by the Authority. Basically, with Stephanie and Triple H coming down with Stephanie McMahon confronting John Cena and asking John if she can hear the crowd chanting "Cena sucks," and basically saying the fact that she could hear it and just wanted to make sure if he could. And then from there, she proceeded to say that he could join the Authority and come to a place where he would be loved and respected, unlike the WWE Universe, who always turns their back on John Cena. They will buy his t-shirts, they will buy his hats, they buy tickets to come see the man of his WWE, but they never cheer or applaud or anything for this guy. It's a very weird place to be. She was saying that if John came to the Authority, he would be in a place where they could give him power and basically be in a spot that he deserves. They guaranteed that if John came over, he would beat Brock Lesnar and he would become WWE champion. He would just be basically working for Triple H and Stephanie. Triple H, after John Cena declined, basically was laying out the road that basically because of NXT, the future for John Cena is only going to get stronger. It's only going to get tougher. There's younger guys coming up through the system that are getting better and better as every day from training down at Triple H's Performance Center, putting over NXT and just basically just trying to slam the door on John Cena, telling him that his window of opportunity is not going to be open for long. John Cena basically is in a spot where he needs to go out and he needs to find friends to join this team. Kane approached Dolph Ziggler, trying to figure out if Dolph Ziggler was going to join John Cena's team. And then I started putting out, if it's 4-on-4, basically I was thinking it was just going to be the lackeys of the Authority. Even though Orton hit the RKO on Rollins, you're guessing that Triple H is going to put this team back together, and they're going to be teaming up, and this will probably be the one spot where Orton finally turns on Rollins, much like back in the day when you would have, what's a good turn, when Stone Cold Steve Austin turned on the Team WWF. And joined Team WCW during that. But you got Orton and Rollins right there. They're going to be led by Kane, and that's when my pen stopped. And I'm like, well, they're not going to put the lackeys in there. We're not going to see Noble and Mercury join the team. And then I was, trying to debate with myself, do you think Triple H is going to wrestle? And I don't think Triple H is going to put himself in this. I think if it comes down to it, Triple H will put himself into a match where he knows he's going to be the main guy, he's going to be the main banana on the team, and it's revolving around him, not revolving around Orton turning on Rollins in this match. So then I was like, well, who's you going to put here? Are you going to put Bray Wyatt on this team? And basically, pushing back Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose, which seems pretty hot right now. It's something that they want to see. How does Wyatt get to the ring in a hologram form? Are they going to do Wyatt versus Ambrose and not kill the whole mid-card of the show? Does that mean like a guy like Cesaro is going to get a push? He's already volunteered himself as a Triple H guy after leaving Paul Heyman, and he hasn't really been doing a whole lot of much except wrestling against Sheamus on 2 pay-per-views ago on Night of Champions, and then wrestling last night in the 2 out of 3 falls against Cesaro. So not sure what they're going to do to polish out that team. And John Cena, I got a blank page here. I mean, I really liked it when you would see guys that were coming up, like Biggie Langston team with Cena. Biggie Langston is so far removed from the Raw roster. We've seen him wrestle on SmackDown. We've seen him wrestle on main events. He's connected, and everybody knows about this, with him Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston as a team that teams on house shows, and they have different names depending on which faction of the team is out there to go along with. And I don't really think they're going to go with Cena, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Biggie Langston. But I would love to see Biggie Langston get a spot in there. Who knows if you're going to put your Intercontinental Champion Ziggler in there, but you think you'd want to have that workhorse work his own match, so you're not gutting that too bad. So it's hard for me to pick these last 3 spots, but I'm definitely going to be thinking about this for the good next little while before they fill this up, so we can have some sort of a guess on what's going down. You got to think of the Survivor Series teams of the past, going back to like Survivor Series 1987, the birth of the Survivor Series. You got Team Hulk Hogan going up against Andre the Giant's team, and basically that was Hogan. It was Don Morocco, Mr. Wonderful, Bam Bam Bigelow, and Ken Patera. The 5 of the biggest names in wrestling at that time, all sort of grouped together because their love of the red, white, and blue, and fighting the good fight is fighting the good guys. Andre the Giant was coming on. He just got brought up to WWF at that time, so that was a bright spot for a young rookie to be. You just got to think that, the last time I can remember them going with a Survivor Series main event of a traditional style match was 2012, and basically that fell apart. Basically, they were thinking about going with Mick Foley wrestling a match against CM Punk, and I think they were going to do Team Foley against Team Punk, and that was going to lead up to Foley versus Punk at the TLC pay-per-view, and that was supposed to roll Punk into wrestling The Rock and give him an easy ticket into wrestling The Rock at Royal Rumble. It turns out that Foley wasn't able to pass the test, and Foley wasn't able to wrestle. He ended up having to split him off. Punk had to go up and wrestle against John Cena and Ryback at the time, and then they would name Team Foley as the captain of his team, not to take away his payday from the pay-per-view. Then he just went up against Team Ziggler, which is a team that made no sense at all. I'm sure they did some sort of a thing where Ziggler stood up to Foley and cut some sort of promo trying to make this sense, but I'm not really sure. You got and the whole thing just basically fell apart. But we're gonna have to see what's going down with this. Who's gonna fill out this 4-on-4 Survivor Series match? But that's your main event, and I'm pumped.